This in practice over at O'Reilly Raceway Park, and of course that race is tonight at 7:30 on ESPN. And Vince Welch will have all the action with the crew over there. And Brad made it with plenty of time to spare. He's still got a few cars still to go. He's fourth in line. There he is, making his way over to the number 12. Out on track right now is Landon Castle. This young man in the Tax Slayer Chevrolet still trying to make a name for himself. When he first burst onto the scene in the Nationwide Series, everybody had some high hopes, and then, like so many, got a little bit derailed.
Yeah, but he's got a ride here and a pretty good car. He's done a lot of testing in these Cup cars when they were in the development stages. So he's got a lot of seat time, not a lot of racing experience in the Cup Series, but he has got a lot of seat time in these cars.
Kevin Buckler is team owner, and right now tracking by just a tenth of a second into the red. So
it's a good lap so far. I think he has a lot of talent. I think he was just another one of those young drivers getting the opportunity. Very young. We expect so much from them. And if they don't go out and win, then they kind of get shuffled back and out of the system for a little while. But he has a lot of talent. Good lap going.
This will be his third Sprint Cup Series start. Back in June, he ran Michigan, started 35th, finished 38th there in Chicago, finished 39th. Dan Stillman looking on as he comes across the stripe. Lost a little bit more through 3 and 4, but good enough for the number 9 slot out of the 13 cars that have taken times at 49.94 seconds. Let's talk to Jimmy Johnson while we've got a chance. Dave Burns.
Oh, Marty, I got to ask him first. It seems like everyone is discussing their qualifying laps here more so maybe than anywhere.
Eastern on ESPN. Brad Keselowski's back in the garage already. Going to be a fun race over there. Back here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, where our race will be on ESPN tomorrow at 1 Eastern with countdown starting at 12 noon. Out on track right now is Travis Kvapil. I'm looking again at the charts, boys, in the top 6, all Chevrolets. Then Brad Keselowski right now with the first Dodge in 7th. And then you've got your first Toyota with Martin Truex 8th. And Travis is already heading south through turn 1. This will be his 4th Brickyard 400. His best start was last year, 28th. His best finish was 25th back in 2006.
Good thing for Travis is he's locked in here, so he can try to lay down a decent lap here for him today and then get the car race ready this afternoon.
Coming through 4th, the 2003 Truck Series champion. Not going to be real thrilled with this lap. He comes down across the yard of bricks. We'll get his official time, but you can see the clock is still ticking. He's going to be over a second behind the pole. In fact, he is the slowest of the 19 cars now that have taken official times, 50.55 seconds. Doc, let's talk to Jeff Burton, who's 6th right now.
Exactly, Mark.
Now, if that was Brad Daugherty, we might have a little problem.
His head's pretty hard, though.
Okay. Kevin Conway out on track right now, looking to make his first start, and obviously had problems through 1 and 2, and he is heading south. His first Cup top 15, of course, back at Daytona, where he finished 14th. Right now, though, he's going to be struggling to make the top 20 for the starting field.
Now, he was the slowest car in practice, in final practice yesterday, and actually tracking slower than Marcus Ambrose.
Well, Dale, as he crosses the line, you mentioned it, you've got to learn how to drive this place.
Yeah, and with no testing here, it's a difficult place to come to and try to get the feel for what you need in the short amount of time that you have.
He's 28th out of 28 cars. Let's check in with Dr. Jerry Punch.
Clippers, and you got a lot of opportunity to either do good or do bad. We'll just hope for the best.
Must make the field on speed. He did a heck of a job last year, Marty. He qualified 4th.
Yes, he did, and don't be surprised if he does a very good job today. Right now, the pressure's on Casey Mears. Just remember back to 2004, this young man sat on the pole here. His best finish was 1 year later when he came home 6th, and now he's got to stick it in on time.
Looked like he had a little wobble getting in there. Had to work the wheel back and forth. That's got to be pretty unsettling at 200 miles an hour.
Yeah, you can see it wiggle again right there. So getting down into the center of the corners, giving him quite a bit of problem so far.
Watch him as he heads into turn number 1. Remember, we have 47 cars. 3 are going to be going home. And already heading south to compared to Montoya's time. Remember back in
Yeah, if you got a car loose end, it's impossible to do anything with it. You got to slow down enough for that, and then after that, then you've killed your corner.
Through 3 and 4, and the line is bottomed out.
He's loose everywhere. You see the car wiggling like crazy.
Yeah, you could really see how positive the front end is. He got way down in the center, and the car continued to rotate from that point.
You're always searching for a balance, and if you got the front tires gripping, way more than the rear, you have to slow down for the rear. You can't take advantage of any extra grip you have in the front. See there, it's 34th quick.
So Casey crosses the line at 50.95 seconds.
Now, these guys will be probably taking 2 laps. If you don't get that first one in, you've got to get in the race here. So even though we saw nobody else make 2 laps.
ESPN 2, and then the Brickyard 400 presented by Golden Corral tomorrow at 1 Eastern on ESPN. And don't forget, our coverage starts at 12 noon with Countdown. Let's talk to Greg Biffle, Dave Burns.
The highest qualified Ford right now for Mr. Biffle, and I know you'd rather be much better than that, but what did the lap tell you about your car?
Well, I'll tell you what, it told me that we've got a car we can compete with here. I felt good, that ice cold Coke, but we weren't that good yesterday, and we needed to get better, and it's these guys just working on it. We knew what we did here last year. We qualified up front and ran up front, but we've just been off since we got here, and the car was perfect. That was a perfect lap for us. The engine ran great, lots of power, and I was a little nervous. I've been watching this thing on TV, and I knew going out late the track's hot, and that was a conservative lap for me, so I'm excited. I think this car could have went faster for sure.
Well, so I'm thinking you're going to be kind of excited about more practice today then, to put it in race trim and see what it can do, right?
Yeah, I think we just leave it in the garage for the rest of the day. It's running good, and I just don't even know what to say, because I left some on the table out there. They hate me to say that, but I was a little conservative on the throttle in a few corners, and just was nervous about messing it up, and the car handled good.
Hey, there's not a nick on it right now. And what do you guys think about keeping it in the garage? You think you should go out later?
Well, you just have to go back out to get the race set up, but he's got to feel pretty good about it. He wasn't very happy yesterday after happy hour, and after that run, got to be real happy.
And that run, he said he was too conservative. He didn't get on the throttle. That might be why he had a good lap, because he didn't overdrive it.
Yeah, he did. He made a good lap. He actually probably watched Mark Martin, and it looked like Mark was conservative on those entries, and he did about the same thing.
That's a good point, because that's exactly what Dale Jr. was saying. I overdrove the car. Well, you see David Gilliland right now, he's actually quicker than Casey Mears, as he is still on it in his second lap.
Yeah, you see and now he's coming out. Yeah, he's done.
He's looking like the Stanley Steamer on the right front side there. And talk about overdriving, that cherished spot. Remember, 3 cars are going to be heading home after our qualifying today. Right now out on track is David Stremme. He, too, looking to make his 4th Brickyard 400. And there's his best start of 12th back in 07.
David Stremme, to me, has always been a very solid qualifier. He knows how to get the most out of a car in these type situations. Doesn't seem to really let the pressures of it bother him.
And let me correct myself. I think I said 3 cars going home. It's 4 cars going home. 43 always going to start the race. Bobby Labonte will get in no matter what because of the past champions provisional. But right now, Stremme through 2.
David on good line there. Line looks good.
That gives you a great idea of just how long that straightaway truly is from that aerial view. Down into 3.
Yeah, the anticipation, the time that you have. You can see he got down a little too low right there, though. Those strips that you have down there, you can see they're white. You don't want to get the tires on those. It just upsets the car. It's there to keep us out of the grass.
Heads down across the yard of bricks, and his time, 51.06 seconds. That currently is the 3rd slowest of the 3 go-or-go homers. So we've still got a lot of cars still to go, and over at ORP.
My life.
I don't think she'll take offense at all. Sweet memory here at the Brickyard, 2002. So that brings us now out to Max Pappas, as Bill Elliott will definitely be around to race tomorrow. Max.
This is one of absolutely the hardest working guys in this sport. He's worked really hard to get himself in the position to have the opportunity to do this. He's been around, he works hard physically, he's out, he networks, and really happy when we see Max have a good run. I know he really, really wants to make this race.
No, he was one of 3 who failed to make it last year here at the Brickyard. He has run the Indianapolis 500 twice, back in 2002 and in 06. But has yet to make the field for the Brickyard 400. We'll find out if he can do it now. Remember, his time is going to be compared to Dave Blaney on our lap tracker.
He's got a good shot. He was 16th quick overall in practice yesterday, so if he can make a good clean lap, and it looks like he did what you were talking about, DJ. Easy into one, drove off too hard.
Yeah, and my son Jason spots for Max, and he talks about how hard and intense he is in practice sessions in trying to figure out these racetracks and exactly what to do. And just as you were talking about, Ray, there's no one that works harder at this, and it's nice to see when he has some success. You see he did a great job there in 3. Just got one more corner to negotiate, and he's going to be in this race.
Makes a nice solid turn 4.
Comes down the front straightaway, and Max Pappas, the native of Como, Italy, looks like he is going to be in the race. And yes,
we're good. Good job. All right, we are in the Brickyard 400. Yes.
This should be a good interview for you to talk to him.
One of 8 who have won here that have gone on to win the championship out of 16 races. 8 times the winner has gone on to win the Sprint Cup crown. All right, right now we have him compared to Juan Montoya on pole, and not doing too badly. Certainly good enough to make the field. Remember, he gets in for the past champion.
Doesn't look like he's going to need it if he can. He's got a little high right there.
Yeah.
How much it's going to hurt.
Sliding a little further south, but remember, he's only got to be better than about a 50.9.
Actually, better than a 68, he'll lock himself in, and he does.
And he does. So he's at 50.45 seconds. And so as he coasted on out, the guys that are sitting on the hot seat are Blaney, Gilliland, Mears, and still several cars to come. Back here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, where we are in the late stages of Brickyard 400 qualifying. We'll see the race tomorrow at 1 Eastern, but countdown at noon on ESPN. And front row, Joe Nemechek out on the track right now. And Joe may not be in the front row, but all he wants to do right now is make the show. Time you got to beat is 50.68 seconds to guarantee yourself a spot.
And once again, unfortunately for Joe and his family, they can see that car has no sponsors on it. They spend a lot of time and effort, money to keep this program going.
In his career, he sat on pole 10 times in the Sprint Cup Series, 1992 Nationwide Series champion, but as you pointed out, without cubic dollars, you don't have cubic horsepower.
Yeah, it makes it tough. He's got a pretty solid lap going here right now. Maybe that could change for him. Get this car in. Phone start ringing tonight.
He's got 0.2 of a second in the bank coming through turn 4, guys.
He's tracking to be the fastest go or go home car.
And he's going to make it safe and sound. Joe Nemechek. He'll get into the field as he crosses the stripe. Yes, sir. 50.32 seconds. So it is still Blaney, Gilliland, Mears, and Stremme on the hot seat. And one guy that we definitely want to talk to, Max
thinks it's fast. How do you think car owner Bob Germain feels? Do you think he'll have any way to celebrate here, maybe?
Let's put it like this, with the guy that have done so far 29 NASCAR starts. We did the Daytona 500, the Brickyard 400, and it's a great accomplishment for me and my family. And thanks to everyone at Germain Racing, all the guys there at the shop. You guys are awesome, and for me, I have goosebumps every time I go underneath that gasoline alley, and I know what it means for me, and I'm sure it means the same for everyone out there at the shop. So thank you guys, and watch out for the 13 car. We're gonna be a rocket ship in the race.
Max is in, and it's big, guys.
And right now we're watching Jacques Villeneuve as he is sliding all over this place, but he's hanging on right now to a spot that would put him in this Brickyard 400 field.
He's slipping and sliding, but he's staying on the gas.
He's getting it all done, everything you could get out of the car right now.
1995 Indianapolis 500 winner. He was 2 laps down in that race at one point, slipping a little bit south. Hang on. He's got to pick it up coming out of 4. He needs about a 1/10 of a second. It's going to be oh so close. He may have to try that second lap as he comes across. He is not guaranteed of being in.
Pretty good lap, though. That's not a bad lap to stand on.
So right now, he is not in the green. Told they've released another car, and there it is. That's Michael McDowell, and this could get a little dicey if he doesn't stay on that warm-up lane. And now he has turned it around and
Shut it off. Come down pit road. Shut it off coast.
they're sending him down pit road to coast it on in.
Yeah, now he'll be on the 5-minute clock. They'll treat this like an attempt that they aborted at that time. So his time will not start when he crosses what is the start-finish line coming all the way across pit road. Now if they've sent another car out.
And in the background, you see Michael McDowell trying to make his way down through the front straightaway, takes the green flag, and he'll have his run at qualifying for the Brickyard 400. He started it back in 2008 as one other appearance, started 30th, finished 34th that year.
Whoa. Used up all of turn 1 there.
Now remember, with Jacques Villeneuve being the man on the spot right now at 50.71 seconds, Dave Blaney has now been locked in. So has Labonte, Max Pavish, Joe Nemechek, and Bill Elliott. And can Michael McDowell join that group? So far, so good.
He's got a good shot. He was the 6th out of the go-or-go-homers yesterday, and Michael's been known to be a good qualifier. Has made a lot of the races that he's attempted to make.
Yeah, and I believe he's going to make this one.
Well, Casey Mears is sweating this out right now as he comes down the front straightaway, comes across the yard of bricks, and McDowell is safely into the show.
You're in, buddy. You're in, man. 50.46. Great job. Great job, Zach. Everybody, super job.
You heard the team give him the good news. The bad news is Casey Mears joins David Stremme on the hauler.
Trying to figure out what to do with J.J. Yaley's car here.
With former Brickyard winner Bobby Labonte, who had a guaranteed spot, but you didn't need it.
Yeah, but I wish we could have run better. And we unloaded off the truck. We were really loose to start with, and felt really uncomfortable getting in the corners and loose on exit. So Nick and the guys are working real hard at it. And I just want to thank James Finch and Phoenix Construction for letting me drive their car. And hopefully this next 2 hours or 4 hours of practice, actually 2 hours of practice that we get a few hours from now, we can get it better. We just haven't had the speed that we like to have. And sure, it's great to be in the race, but man, we sure want to go faster. So hopefully we can get that here shortly.
Did you have it in qualifying trim the entire first day of practice, or did you run some race trim?
We did run some race trim the first hour, and then we made qualifying runs the second hour. And I just wish that we could have gone faster. I mean, this is a great track. I love coming here, and just really can't get comfortable getting in. It's a different setup than what I'm used to, and just trying to get used to it. But hopefully by race time tomorrow, we'll have a lot better game plan for what we need to have.
It's good to have the champ in the field, guys.
And as you finish up, we were watching Todd Bodine, who finished 7th in last night's Camping World Truck Series race over at O'Reilly Raceway Park. And right now he is so close to going into the red. Now he's coming back into the green. On the upper right, you got J.J. Yaley, and these guys are going to be really tired. That's a long sprint all the way back down to the end of pit road. Keep an eye now on the clock. It is going to be tight for Todd Bodine. Is he going to make it in? Because right now, Gilliland is the guy who's on the spot, and Bodine is in. Gilliland is out, and that means it's now down to either Villeneuve or the man that still has to get out there and try it one more time, J.J. Yaley.
Villeneuve's got to be sweating a little bit, but I feel pretty good about it because Yaley has got that engine hot. He's got some.
Saw Barry Green with Jacques yesterday, and he's actually helping him out. And they were talking about how difficult this really is. They said if anybody thinks it's easy trying to make these fields when you just put a team together, he says, think again.
Well, then you look at it really says a lot about this sport and where NASCAR is today. When you've got a guy that's a world champion and former Indy 500 winner, and he looked pretty nervous standing there watching JJ pull out on the racetrack. How much it would mean to him to make this race.
All right, you see him trying to get the tires good and hot because he's got to come around and go right to the flag. And everybody in this camp that is a J.J. Yeley fan will be sweating bullets for about the next 50 seconds.
Yeah, and it sounded like he said that his car cut off a minute ago, and that's what happened as he went through 4. So I'm sure they probably had to switch their ignition box and things that they didn't really want to do.
Jacques looking on, 50.71 seconds, the time to beat. And Jacques, I wonder if he feels the same way he did when he was qualifying for the Indianapolis 500. Whoa, look out! And he tags the wall. So the question has been answered. Unfortunately for J.J. Yeley, the race is over. And you can see Villeneuve.